with her little youngster. And they're just talking to each other. That, I just must reiterate, is not what it sounds like to them. There are frequencies that we don't hear, and obviously our little larynxes are completely unable to make. So although it might sound like you're talking to an elephant when you go, the elephant just thinks you're being an idiot. I think that's a bull, Brian.
Yes.
From the rounded head.
Yes. And the length of his tail.
The length of his tail, yes.
Yes.
Good. There's another cow to the left, Brian, who's checking us out there. Hello, Matthew. Another lovely question that I'm afraid I don't know the answer to. Do elephants ever bite their tongues, you say? I'm trying to think of the shape of an elephant's tongue. You know, I think an elephant's tongue doesn't stick out like ours does, Matthew. No, she's not too happy with us. She's just saying, stay right there. Opened her ears out, not particularly pleased to see us. She's not the oldest cow, and so perhaps she's just a little bit inexperienced. Can you see how predictable that is, everyone? It's just like a human being walking, coming across someone they don't know and kind of standing up dead straight, posturing, going stiff. It's exactly the same kind of thing. Matthew, I'm going to say I don't think they bite their tongues. So you bite your tongue probably sometimes, like I bite mine, and Brian every so often bites his, don't you, Brian?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a horrible feeling.
It's terrible.
But it's because we have a long tongue and we move it around a lot in our mouths, and we have to be able to move it around in our mouths to speak. And so it's an adaptation to being able to speak, I think, that gives us this long floppy tongue that sits in between our teeth. Whereas an elephant's tongue is much shorter and sits in the mouth in between the teeth, and I don't think they bite them. I imagine a giraffe probably bites its long tongue every so often. Good. Right, well, I'm going to sneak slightly forward. Most of the elephants have gone across the road. Oh dear, there goes a tree. Oh dear. Tree just bit the dust there, everybody. Deborah, armchair traveller. We were talking about the shapes of male and female heads earlier, and that cow there, you can see, has got a squarish head, but not as square as the first one we saw. And you want to know why it is that they should have different foreheads. Why are the males round? Why are the females square? I don't know. No, I'm going to guess. Okay, there are two possibilities, and I think the first one is more likely. Adapted like that to bashing their heads against each other. So I think you'll probably find that the rounder shape minimizes the injury. There's probably a thicker covering of sort of absorptive material on the top of the skull, and that probably allows them to, they do fight quite angrily sometimes, and I think that probably protects the brain. The second possible reason, I suppose, could be that the females do actually have a slightly different brain structure, and that is possible. And maybe the brain structure allows them their far greater sociality. They certainly apparently have a far greater range of vocal communication skills than the males do. That again is very similar to our human species, where males speak to each other in grunts and signals, and women have conversations. Not so, Brian?
Very true, James.
It has actually been proven that I think, and this was a while back, so it's probably changed by now, but male elephants make, I think they make something like, say, well, it's roughly 20 sounds, only 3 of which are unique to bull elephants. Female elephants make about 40 sounds, say, and 28 or so of those are unique to the females. So they're much more communicative. Right, from this elephant's bottom, we're going to go to Buffelshoek Dam, and let's head across to Byron, another B, and he's got a Nyala.